So this is a misdirection. They did this to make news because their warship really couldn't offer any resistance to Chinese naval power. To be honest with you, this was to me a misdirection because of something that was major that took place in the Middle East. And I was checking the news lines for the last few days to see if anyone mentioned this. And the only hint I got of this was yesterday from Press TV. Nobody else mentioned it. And they were talking about a fire or a blaze took place at a research facility. Okay. A research facility. And so, and they said that only 3 people were slightly injured. I wish I could pull this up. Give me a second. Let me see if I can pull up the article, because it is very important that you get the article. Just give me a second. I'm searching the news to see if I can pull it up for you, because I'm going to give you the truth about what took place down in and why they gave you the cover story and why things like this are happening. Okay, because even as the world focuses on the China problem, and when I say China problem, I mean the problem that America and the West has with a rising, confident China. America's eyes have not been taken off of her Middle Eastern or West Asian nemesis, which is Iran. Okay. So what we're seeing today, and I'm searching the headlines while I'm talking to you, with the things that are going back and forth with Great Britain and China, is to mislead you at this point. There was a covert operation that took place in Iran. Okay. This involved Mossad, CIA, and I don't like to say this because I have no confirmation, but there are whispers of Saudi intelligence and so-called NATO intelligence had a hand in this. Okay, but I know for a fact that it was CIA and Mossad, and they used assets in Tehran, because this took place in Tehran at a well-secured, well-monitored research facility that was a research facility for the IRGC. The IRGC. Now, the Iranian Republican Guards, I want you to understand, okay? And from what I was told, that this fire was caused by either a bomb being placed there and exploded by remote control, or some kind of sabotage. But regardless of which kind of sabotage it was, it had to come from the inside out. And Iran is keeping a lid on it, because if they were to allow the people to know that parts of the IRGC was compromised, this would be a black eye to Iran in the Middle East. Okay, so from what the information that I got is that multiple people were killed. Iran was reporting that only 3 people were injured, and I'm trying to see if I can pull up that article. Let's see. Let's see. And it was, and I tried to hold it for you all. Here it is. I think this is it right here. Okay. All right. Now, I want you to see the difference between their reporting yesterday and their reporting today. And then I want you to see my article and see how my article already told you that the reporting from yesterday was a cover story, and soon more facts would come out. The headline is this: fire breaks out at IRGC Research Center in Tehran, injures 3. Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guards Corps says a fire has broken out at one of its research centers in the capital, Tehran, leaving 3 people injured. In a statement on Sunday, the Public Relations Office of IRGC announced that a fire has erupted in a self-sufficiency research center used by the RRGC west of Tehran this evening, adding that 3 of the center's employees have been wounded. Firefighters have contained the blaze and the injured have been sent to the hospital for medical treatment, the statement added. The cause of the fire was not mentioned. Now, you have that, right? So, key words here. They did not say that there were scientists injured. They did not say that there were IRGC fighters injured. They said employees, adding that 3 of the center's employees have been injured. But in an article that I did, I told you that there were multiple injuries and maybe even deaths of scientists, employees, and IRGC members itself. Okay, this is what I said. You can go to Patreon, you can check it out. It goes way more in depth than what they're saying in the news. It goes way more in depth than the news that you're going to get. So check this out. So the new article that comes out today from Iran, and pardon me, I'll take a drink of water. It says the headlines. Now remember the last headlines, and remember the reporting that employees were injured, not killed, but employees were injured. The headline today reads, Iran's IRGC says 2 of its members killed in fire at research center in Tehran. Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps says 2 of its members have succumbed to injuries in a fire that broke out at one of its research centers in the capital, Tehran. In a statement on Monday, the IRGC said a number of employees at a self-sufficiency research center used by the elite force west of Tehran were injured in the fire that had erupted in the center's warehouse the previous day. It added that 2 of the injured lost their lives. Stop right there. So when they say employees, they are talking about IRGC members. You understand? The same as I reported in my article, and I got from sources close to the matter. This was a covert operation by CIA and Mossad intelligence using homegrown Iranian assets. And listen to me good. The reason why the cover story of Iran is so important for them is that they would lose face internationally and they would lose face regionally. And so upon the happenings of this event, Iran started to deploy missile brigades to the Iranian-Turkish border areas and the Iranian-Iraqi border areas. Okay, this is left out. The cover story is to give them a little breathing room, because if the truth came out all at once, then the Iranian people would be demanding for a major military strike on U.S. forces in the region and Israeli forces, and maybe even Israel proper, because this happened in Tehran, the capital of Iran. Okay? So this is something that you should pay close attention to. This is something that you should ponder over. So they need a cover story until they get everything straight. And I've also been told that they have activated some of the Qud forces assassination teams. Well, not activated, but they are on alert to activate to get revenge. So while the world is looking at the British warship sailing through the Taiwan Strait, America and Israel committed a flagrant act of war against Iran. Yeah. Misdirection. This is what the empire is doing. She's directing you in one area to keep your eyes over there, and in reality, she's pushing a war a covert war across the Middle East. Now, what's significant about this, and the reason I tell you, you have to look at this situation more so than what Britain did, because that was just a fly-by-night thing, okay? And we'll address, maybe on another show or something, we'll address that because it's connected to American provocations, but still. For this event to take place in Tehran in daytime, listen to me good. This wasn't done at 11:49 at night. This was done in the evening time in the capital of Iran, which is Tehran. And it was done at a facility that was well monitored and secured by the IRGC. Okay. Do you see the ramifications of this if it got out that some of their areas were compromised with traitors that are still working with the American and Israeli side? Because remember, there is a faction there that still wants to integrate into the West. We call them the fifth column. We already knew about Russia's fifth column. Now you're learning about Iran's fifth column, because not all of the people who were associated with the Shah of Iran left Iran. Not all of them. Okay. Some of them reinvented themselves, right? And they bided their times. And so when America tried to push Rafsanjani, which was a corrupt bureaucrat, a corrupt so-called Ayatollah or a corrupt politician on the people, it didn't last long. And he passed away, I think, a few years ago. But his group was still there when America tried to push this, the so-called Green Revolution on the Iranian people. Those were the same assets, the same holdovers who are doing anything to weaken the government of Iran, the institutions of Iran, because they want power. They have a direct connection with some of the Iranians who are abroad here in America. They have a direct connection with the CIA and Mossad. So the ramifications of this go well beyond Tehran. So now Tehran has to come up with a fortified plan of action to take revenge. And the revenge cannot be a meager revenge, because this took place in broad daylight. This took place in Tehran. This took place in a IRGC facility. So all of that has meaning. What America and Israel is saying is that we can get you anytime we want. Look at what we've done. We went to your country, to your capital, and we infiltrated your elite group, the IRGC, right? And we damaged your research facilities and the materials there. And we took out some scientists and some IRGC security at the same time. Believe it or not, Tehran is scrambling right now because this got past their intelligence services, meaning that this had to be an inside job. And if it is an inside job, who benefits from this work from those who created the inside job? The beneficiaries are clear. It is America and Israel. And so if the beneficiaries of that inside job are America and Israel, then there must be a connection between those who are covertly operating within the IRGC and within the Iranian government with the Israeli Mossad and the American CIA. This has unheard of and untold security issues for the Iranian nation. And they cannot allow this to go unanswered. So expect a secret meeting between Assad, Hezbollah, the Iraqi Hezbollah, and the Quds forces. There must be some kind of get back. If not, then Israel and America is going to continue. Whenever you allow a bully to continue to do what they're doing, when you stand up to them, they don't yield. They may look at you funny, but